All right, we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to IBM Developer Online Meetup. My name is Upkar. I'm a developer advocate at IBM, and I will be your host today. I hope everybody's doing safe, keeping well. Thank you for spending your precious time with us today. I'm very pleased to host not one, but two developer advocates from Hair Technologies, our partners in the Call for Code initiative. More to come on that during the webinar. So we have Mohammed and Vidhan. Hey, guys.
Hey,
Hello.
And they're going to talk to us about hair technologies, but specifically today will be an introduction to location services. So this webinar is a part of our IBM Tech at Home webinar series. Um, I'm again very excited to host these gentlemen today. It's our first webinar in a series of webinars with hair technologies, looking into different aspects. So before we get started, just a couple of housekeeping things. The webinar is being recorded and the replay will be available immediately after the event ends on the same URL that you're on right now. We'll also post the link to the recording to our to our meetup page, but also we'll send you an email with the replay URL as well as all of the other resources that will be shared during the webinar. Now, if you look at the top of the screen, you should see IBM Developer. If you open that in a new page, you can follow us, or also there's a follow button right on top. And what that enables is notifications. So, in the future, when we post events and go live, if you want to get notified about these events, please do follow us. For those of you who are new to IBM Developer, I do see a lot of familiar names in the chat. But if you have not come to our events before, we are a team of developer advocates, residing across the world right now, and we host online meetups, workshops, and hopefully in the near future we'll go back to hosting in-person events and lunch and learns. But essentially, we do a lot of developer education. So like I said, feel free to use the chat functionality, say hello, make some friends, discuss topics relevant to this meetup. If you have any questions, at the bottom there is a ask a question button. You can put your question there. If I see a question in the chat that hasn't been added to ask a question, I'll do that as well. And finally, there is a call to action button at the bottom that will take you to Hair Devs, and I'll actually let the speakers talk about that a little bit more in a second here. So I think my part is done. So Mohammed, I'll hand it over to you for a quick introduction and we can get started.
thank you. So hello all, thank you for joining us today. So I hope that your device and the coffee is ready, coffee or tea, whatever the caffeine intake as such. So today we will go into some introduction for the location services as part of the series that we introduced with IBM, trying to explain, trying to share some knowledge when it comes to location technologies, how to use the location data, how to use the geospatial information, part of your solution, part of your app, or any application that eventually you need to develop. Let me start quickly with Code for Code. This is the global challenge that we have jointly with IBM. So IBM, for a bunch of years now, introducing this challenge. This year is a bit different. We have the challenge of the COVID situation and everyone trying to overcome the whole pandemic big issue that we're trying to face. I think you can feel it. Everyone sitting at home, trying to engage with the whole world outside virtually, from the screen of the device, from the laptop, from the mobile phone, and that's it. Everyone is locked these days, and we're trying to find the opportunity how to be safe again and engage with our life. Also, part of that challenge is the climate crisis. So the whole weather warming issues, the really challenges on the weather that we are facing. This is another challenge that we need your support in. So please join us with Call for Code. I think if you search it, you'll find it immediately. We have two topics that we need your support, your brain, your creativity out of it. One for the COVID-19, what we can do post the COVID now as we have, and the climate change and how you can impact positively the environment. So please join us on that fight. And let me put it differently in a colorful color. We need your help. You need your innovations. You need your thinking out of box and building the next solution for that. So a lot of partners joining here is part of the Catalyst sponsor for the Call for Code. Having said that, let me give you a quick introduction of here technologies and what's the location services. So my name is Muhammad Abdul Jalil. My colleague is Vidhan. Let him introduce himself. Vidhan, please.
Hey guys, so I am Vidhan Bhosle and I'm based out of India, Bangalore, and I am Senior Developer Evangelist with Here Technologies. And good to see you all.
Thank you. And that's myself. So it's nice to have some pictures on the face. We're trying to be in the video as well, so you can see the look and feel of the people, and also to have this mapping activities. So today we have 4 topics. Hopefully we'll go very quickly about it. So who we are, the Here Develop program, what's next, and Q&A session. I think this is very important for you if you have any questions, any query. I know it's part of the introduction, but we have more to come on the future. So let me start with who's here. So location is key. Location is everything. Yeah? I think everyone can agree as we cannot go without location services. Location can be as simple as the map application that we have is sharing our location with our friend and family. It is just a coordinates that we are using, but it has a lot of complex scenarios just to build a simple location technology within your devices. So in here, we are lucky to be part of leading this location data and technology platform worldwide. We deliver location aware to everyone, anywhere. So that's part of the engagement that we have. It's a global reach, more than 200 countries that we have mapping for these guys, navigation, digital map, whatever the format that you are need. Also the positioning technology and how you can get your location on top of the map technology. With that widespread of the technology, it's a lot of activities that we are doing every seconds to collect the map data. A lot of data, terabytes in acquisition and digestion with AI and machine learning to make sure that we have the state-of-the-art map data, fresh as possible as it's already on the street. You can consume that technology with multiple formats. So we have the APIs, we have the SDK, we have a lot of applications, like a solution that you can use it end to end. And also we have an offline map data content if you wish to use it or consume it. We have a marketplace if you need to exchange the location data with others, with yourself, with your suppliers and your partner. A bit agnostic when it comes to location technology and location platform. And most importantly for us, it's private. So the whole privacy and security measure is really high in the way that we are acquiring the data and also how we are serving the customer as such. If you can read the numbers, we have a bit of a long spread of the activities. I think Vidhan can share some insight on this.
Yeah, so if you talk about the presence of Here Technologies, you can say that in North America and Europe, we are there on 4 out of 5 cars, and we are basically on the car navigation system. And we have mapped more than 600,000 kilometers, and that too in HD. And that is for autonomous driving to enable the future. Apart from that, we have mapped more than 200 countries.
Nice. So it's not only the automotive as such, it's different the industry and market segments that we are tackling. So the good thing about the location is it's everywhere. So automotive is part of it, logistics is part of it, telecos, retail, healthcare that we are trying to cover these days with the COVID-19 situations. We have more industry challenges that we are tackling with the location services from automotive, transportation and logistics, telecos, retail. A lot of challenges when it comes to fleet management, for example, the urban mobility. So Vidhan?
Yeah, so I had one of the query, which I think almost everybody is trying to answer. That comes for digital transformation. Every company, every industry is moving toward digitally transforming themselves. So how do here work on that, or how here is present in that scenario?
Yeah, thank you. So what we have in the digital transformation, it's a big challenge. So these days with the whole COVID-19 situation, everyone is moving around, enabling the remote working, e-government, even small and medium businesses, they start to have the whole digital economy and the e-commerce as part of it. So enabling the digital transformation become very crucial. If I need to highlight where we can have the location technology advantages out of it, so it's mainly the operation efficiency, the customer service and experience, and we have a lot of other use cases that can help you to speed up your digital transformation as such.
Okay. So if we talk about COVID situation, right, this is something which we are, everybody on earth is facing right now. Another query that we have as a developer is how to tackle those situations where we are going through a scenario where everybody is getting impacted by COVID-19.
Yeah, so there is a bit of joke there about the digital transformation. So everyone's saying like it's either you have a presentation about digital transformation, and then when the COVID-19 came, everyone is implementing the whole concept of moving into digital domain as such. So let me highlight some areas here. So location-based solution for the COVID medication has a lot of pillars. The basic one that we have, like for example, the short range activities, so the contact tracing. A lot of people, a lot of companies, a lot of government have this app within your country or even within your district or state to have this type of contact tracing using Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Also the long range, so if you need to have like an overall view of the situation using different technology like cellular data, GNSS, satellite imagery. I think we'll tap quickly about this terminology very soon. And also if you need to have, let me use the location intelligence out of this data. So if you have set of point of interest, if I need to have virus detection action, if I need to see my equipments, the hospitals, e-payments, CCTV, toll gates, you name it. So it become very crucial to use the location-based technologies to enable your platform, your services, your applications to mitigate the whole COVID-19 situations. If I need to put in that different perspectives, or the future of the shared mobility and EV, for example, is become very different these days. So on this type of pandemic, or let me use the crisis year that we have, there is a lot of change. The macroeconomics changed. The technology of the activity is changed. Even the decision maker from regulations, the TRAs of that region, it's changed. It's changed very quickly, very significantly. Everyone waiting for the next, and let me use the next normal as it is. So the expectation, it will be like a couple of years from now, 2025, potentially we should have that growth coming with the whole recovery of the situation of the COVID, getting back to the economy in a good shape.
Yes, recovery is one of the major expect when we talk about after COVID scenario, and how do we see that? That is something that everybody wants to know.
Yeah, so the technology is here to solve it. Let me I say it like I'm a big believer. So there is a bit of journey for that recovery. It will not be easy for the business. It will not be easy for return of investment and the whole crisis situation that we have. But it's journey that we need to take eventually to have it. So with the crisis situation that we have, a lot of crisis management have been implemented from government, from enterprise, from SMEs, and even from startup businesses. With the whole slowdown, the business variable become a bit different. The recession is hitting. Everyone is expecting this. Whereas here, the business resilience need to be there. And then the next wave of accelerating back the economy with a lot of investment should be there, and I would assume change management as well. It will be a different ball game at that time, and then the recovery for the industry and the whole economy moving away to the next level with the recovery, and potentially the future enterprise on the look of, if I need to use the term again, of the digital transformation, will be good on shape for this one. So where is here? If I need to put that into perspective, so having here as location technology leader and trusted partner, we are here to help you when it comes to location services and location platform as well. So we have widespread globally. We have a strong presence when it comes from back 1985, with all the content covered, more countries that we are being there. Let me give you a bit of a snapshot of a history for this. So the company used to call Navtec. So Navtec was famous of the electronic maps. This is the company who managed to invent the move from paper map, the normal paper map, into electronic format of this map, and then advanced the technology with in-car navigation, with the personal navigation devices, with the sat-nav systems in our cars from the 90s. With another revolutions happening on the automotive, with a lot of technologies enabling basic autonomy for these vehicles, like the drive assistance technology, for example. We've also invented what we call it like location data and web map, mobile map. These things have been actually digested by Nokia, and then Nokia acquired the company completely 2008. From Navtec to Nokia Location and Commerce, we moved into location services and location mobility as such. 2012, we changed the name that we have right now, which is Here Technologies. And then the car German manufacturers, they managed to find the value and acquire the company completely and revamp the concept of open platform and open concept of the open data and how to help the location data into different perspective. We managed also to get a lot of investors and partners from Intel, Bosch, Pioneer, Continental to enable the technology part and the IoT and AI business within the company. Early this year, we are lucky to have Mitsubishi Corp and NTT as well joining the investor board, again expanding our businesses across Asia and the rest of the world. So it's a lot of journey happening there when it comes to location technologies, inventing the concept of location services, location mapping, web map as such, helping the automotive to move further with their industries. And that's give us the lead to be the number one location when it comes to this type of technology that's super unique to the company, to be the number one enterprise company serving the location services. It gives us also the ability to have a lot of partners. So a lot of partners, big names using our location core services as part of their products and services. And also a lot of the platform is enabled from the partner using our location technology. So the journey of here is as simple as paper map. So everyone knows that the paper map, if you go to the airport to rental car, for example, you have a piece of paper still there, even in the airport, honestly speaking. But the innovation of moving into electronic format, it is this machine. It used to be near the rental car. So for example, in San Francisco, if you are going to Hertz National, any rental car, you pick your car and then you have this vending machine. It's literally a vending machine. You just go there, punch your address, and it prints you out an electronic guide where you need to go with your destination. That's in 1985. It was a big innovation. And surprisingly, this machine is an IBM AT machine. So the first innovation happening with Navtec at that time was in an IBM machine. It was a big innovation on delivering location services in an electronic format. And then we moved to digital completely with the web map, with the web applications using location services. And you can imagine a lot of mapping. You can see it everywhere from your device, from the mobile phones, from the wearable, everywhere. And the whole challenge of the location become more crucial, that we need to develop even more visual and better applications. So we start to introduce the 3D maps. It's a better look. However, it has also a lot of applications with the elevation that we can deliver to the solution of the location services or and data that we have. With this, the automotive start to have more focus into getting more accurate map. So let me use the technology of high definition map. It is a lane accuracy. It's a literally a centimeter accuracy, where you can have a digital map with HD format in your car, in the drone, so you can navigate easily around everywhere. And with this demand of the e-commerce and the digital economy, the whole last mile, the whole concept of delivering to the doorstep at some point of time to your meeting room or your bedroom. So we start to introduce the indoor map. So with this, we have the reachability of a drone, for example, or robot. He can drive all the way from the warehouse into your table, simply with location technology enabled on the back end and in that robot or in that machine. And that's the big vision that we have eventually for autonomous. So we're trying to enable everyone to be autonomous: cars, drone, robots, phones, you name it. So we are helping you these days to enable this type of vision of having autonomy for everything. So please, Vitan, if you can share some updates on the Here Developer Program.
Sure. Thank you, Mohammed. Now, first of all, what are we? From technical perspective, I would like to say that here is a technology company, and what we do is we make maps, we collect data and location data, we perform analytics and machine learning on it, and then we provide you as a developer so that you can use it in your application development or a project development in a form of web application, desktop application, or mobile application. Here is the leading company when it comes to location technologies. We are the leader in this domain, and we have mapped a lot of area, and we are still growing. We are still mapping a lot of countries, a lot of places to provide you a very accurate data. How do you get started on this? You have to go to our developer portal, which you can click on at the bottom in the resources here, Dave's, and you have to sign up on our developer portal, and then you can access all the services. So while signing up, you can choose freemium, which, as the name suggests, is completely free for you. You don't have to pay anything. And in that, you are being provided around 250,000 transactions per month. And you, as a developer, can have 5,000 active mobile user. And all of this without entering your card details. Now, we don't take your card details like other companies, and that's how we work. If you talk about what we provide after processing the data, we provide you maps and location analytics outcome in the form of 20 plus location APIs. Now, these APIs, as you know, application programming interface, lets you integrate our location technology in your project. If you talk about these APIs, first of all, you'll have to go to our developer portal and you have to sign up, and then you can access all these services, all these offerings. What we do is we provide you APIs and we provide you mobile SDK, and we also provide you JavaScript support so that you can either build a mobile based application for Android or iOS or Flutter, or you can build a web based application with the help of APIs, or you can create a desktop based application with the help of our APIs and JavaScript support. Now, the question is what you can do with this or what we can provide you. So there are a bunch of APIs, there are a bunch of things that we provide which you can use in your project. For example, you want to create a simple map, you want to show a simple location with a lat long. You can work with our map image, which is again an API, and then you can have interactive features on that map image like a marker. You can move that marker, you can toggle between places, you can draw an overlay layer on top of it. We
Cool.
have venue maps, which is a map for a particular location, say a building. You can upload it and you can use it in your project. Now, if we talk about mobility or navigation, you can also build a solution for this, a mobility solution, say an urban mobility. Here, what we do is basically you can have a map, you can create it with our API, then you can have a mobility solution by defining where you want to go from place A to place B or from a source to destination. This is done with the help of routing. And then we have Places API, which finds you important places nearby you so that you can show it on a map as a developer to your users. In this way, we can take you from point A to point B in a very efficient and a nice way.
Nice.
Another thing which you can do with this, with our APIs, is traffic. Traffic is one of the major issue and has been a major issue all over the world. If you want to create an application to solve that issue, to take you from one place to another, avoiding traffic or keeping traffic in mind, for that we have traffic endpoint, which you can combine with our maps, our routing, our places, and we can connect everything to show you a real-time traffic scenario so that you avoid constructions or accidents or any jams.
Cool.
Let's say that you have a fleet of cars. Let's say that you are into a company or you are creating a company which has a service where you are dropping and picking up people or logistics services. In that case, you have to manage a complete fleet. That comes very easily with our APIs. We have fleet telematics, which helps you out and say finding out the locations where your truck or a heavy vehicle can go around the city. Let's say that you want to avoid low hanging bridges or you want to avoid getting into the area which are banned for heavy vehicles. All these things can be solved easily with our fleet telematics. Apart from that, you want your fleet to be operating in a certain region. For that, we provide you geofencing also. Combining these things with our map images, routing, you can create a complete scenario where you can give a solution for any logistic problem.
Awesome.
And then we have autonomous vehicles. We work very much into autonomous vehicle solution, where you can provide a complete solution with the help of our high definition maps that we have created. Combining all the APIs where you are showing map, where you're showing navigation, a proper route, avoiding cars nearby, finding out what tools or how much you have to pay on a toll, and then taking you from point A to point B safely can be done with the help of our autonomous vehicle solution. That is basically combining all the important APIs into a structure which you can use to build a solution.
Cool.
And then we have urban logistics, and which is one of the major reason that you see a lot of location companies working around, where you want to create a scenario or new business scenario where you want to solve a certain scenario, for example, regarding hospitals or ambulances, for example, regarding logistics. Any logistics scenario, any urban logistics can be solved with the help of APIs. You can create a structure again with our maps, our routing, our all the business related services that we offer. And to tell you, almost all of them comes under freemium plan. So you don't have to worry about paying things initially till you are under the 250,000 transactions per month.
So at least they can try and play around with the APIs and the SDK. They can do the pilot, the minimum viable products as such. Even if you have I would assume a startup business or small business, you can survive with this type of freemium model. There is no payment for this.
We don't ask you for your credit card details, so you don't have to worry about that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a good tip. Thank you. So can you avail more details about the routing API?
Sure. When you talk about routing, it's basically taking you from point A to point B. Now, it sounds very simple, but if you talk about how you're going to travel from point A to point B, there could be a lot of ways. You can go by yourself, you can walk, you can take your own car, or you can go by a public transit. So what we do is we provide you all the means through which you can create a scenario for taking you from point A to point B, considering everything in the route. Let's say that we have a route or you want to reach to a position or a location which requires you to travel by taking multiple modes. You can define that.
Mhm.
You can find out the shortest or the best possible way from reaching from point A to point B. Routing works very well with mobility solution. On your screen, you can see one of the examples how you can call an API. All you're doing is you're calling an HTTPS link and you're providing some of the values, for say waypoint 0, which is say your source from where you're starting, waypoint 1, which is the destination, and all the values are in lat long. And then the mode, how do you want to reach there? I want to reach fast and I want to use my own car. And apart from that, you will have to provide one more value, which is called an API key, which you can generate very easily on our developer portal. And it will give you a result, which will be a shortest distance that you can take by your car to reach your destination.
Nice. So let me ask you quite quickly. So there is a lot of regulation, especially like in Europe, countries with the downtown cities about the CO2 emissions. May I ask, is it possible to have it in the routing API as well?
Yeah, we have created this structure, we have collected the data, and we have analyzed data as per the countries. So all these scenarios, all these metrics are kept into account while providing you the output of this API call.
Yeah, nice. So it looks simple yet very complex when it comes to the attributes and the data have been used around it. So may I ask you also to give us some highlights if we need to have different routing? They call it Isoline. Can you give us some insights on this?
Sure. Let's say that you are at some location shown as a blue marker that you can see on your
Mm-hmm.
screen, and you want to go somewhere. What you are going to do, you're going to open your car hailing application, you're going to search for
Mm-hmm.
car, and normally
Yeah.
these applications, what they do, they show
Yeah. So
you,
usually,
yeah,
yeah, the nearest, yeah, the nearby. So there is a big circle happening there, and then you can see what's people around you. You pick and move forward.
exactly. And they provide you a distance which is equal on all the directions. And doing so, they create a circle. Let's say that you got a hit
Yes.
on two cars. Now,
Yes.
Mohammed, which one will you choose here? If I give you a choice of selecting one car, and let's say that this marker is you.
So we have the left and right. So the left, it seems shorter, but I can see the river is in between. So if the car need to reach out to this drop point, they need to cross the bridge and another bridge as well to reach to that destination. So even it looks shorter, but it will take a bit of time. But I think the right car is the right selection. Yeah. So even it's a bit farther with a direct distance, but within the road network is much near. I would assume there is no traffic, there is nothing. It just goes straight forward to the pickup point.
Exactly. In reality, you don't select that. Your application works a lot of logic behind the scene and
Yeah.
they select it for you. But what actually is happening and what we provide is what we call isoline routing. What it does
Yeah.
is
Cool.
it gives you a polygon structure which is at a distance or an equal distance on the basis of
Hmm.
time that you are going to take to reach this particular spot. So all the borders of this polygon that you're looking at is time based equally distance from the marker.
Yeah.
Apart from
So
that,
now we don't need to have manual selection. So the app
exactly.
or the platform will select automatically based on real data.
So when you're creating your application, you don't have to go into that logic where you're finding out you're comparing the results and then finding out which car to select. Our API, Isolang routing, is doing that for you. And it is time based and distance based. Let's say that you want to have a car which is closest in terms of distance. You can do that.
Mhm.
Or let's say that you know that you live in a city where there's a lot of traffic and distance is just a number. In reality, it's all time based. So in that scenario, you would like to go with time based isoline routing. And that's what we do. We
Cool.
provide you this beautiful feature where you can select whether you want to travel with respect to time or you want to travel with respect to distance.
Awesome, man. So this is how you have an automation in your development. You minimize the manual selections or the manual interaction with the people, and when it comes to the operation excellency, you just go immediately with the technology and can help you to do it. So very interesting.
Yes.
Cool. So and let me also share some updates on the positioning technology. So it's the basic need when it comes to location is the simple answer, where am I? Yeah. So it's like, where are you these days? As- So the gentleman is sitting in. So in this call, for example, we have someone in Bangalore, someone in San Francisco, and someone sitting in Dubai as well. So how you can find your location in your device. So ideally, we find it as small dot. Yeah. So we find this tiny dot showing there. And if we dig around this dots in your mobile screens, you find some numbers. Yeah. I would assume you know what's the long and lat. So the longitude and latitude is simply a way that we're trying to represent the Earth uh, visual. So please, there is no flat Earth. Yeah, no joke on this. So it's it's a spherical. So we have the Earth with the longer lat, and these numbers represent you on the top of the Earth surface to find your location. So unusually, the way that we got it from satellite, the satellites above us. So we have the GPS, the Global Positioning System. I think is known. Everyone know how is the GPS as. But let me add another terminologies if you are not familiar with is the GNSS. So GNSS is more of other technologies doing exactly like the GPS. So the GPS is purely American system. So we have the GLONASS, we have the Galileo from Europe, Beidou, Navec, QZSS. So a lot of countries, they have their own technology from China, from Japan, Europe, Russia. It's mainly for positioning technology. So the purpose of the GNSS is a general system give you the service of where are you. So when it comes to the positioning technology, and let me share you some different picture. So the positioning technology is a bit complex if we need to have the accuracy and coverage as part of the trade-off. So this is your X and Y. So GNSS, we are familiar with this. The assist GPS, it's a bit of online service, immediately give you a quick look for your location when it comes to satellites that you are looking. It's a bit faster. Let me use it and a bit accurate as well. Some technology is also using the cell ID from the mobile operator or from the telecom operators. And sometimes you have the multi-cell, again, give you better accuracy than the cell ID and a bit of wider coverage as well. And then we have the Wi-Fi, the normal Wi-Fi that we can capture on the street. This is like an outdoor mapping technology. And then in the indoor positioning services, we have the Bluetooth, low energy, and the Wi-Fi as well. So this view will give you a bit of applications differently when it comes to commercial use that we have. So as a developer, as a coder, as an innovator, or even product manager or designer sitting within us with the call, you can have a lot of use cases using positioning technology from server data, from IPS services. You have a lot of technology that you can play around commercially available for everyone. But here is the picture is a bit different. So there is more technologies introduced like high definition Wi-Fi. There is applications for a way better HD Wi-Fi that can always competing with the GPS or the GNSS, but purely Wi-Fi technology. And also it can capture the Z leveling for the indoor. So for example, if you are in the mall on the third, seventh, fifth floor, we can capture this data with a technology called HD Wi-Fi, and it's already enabled on the here positioning engine. We have even more sensor fusion technology, which is give you the sense of the motion. So if you are moving into the elevator, into the escalator, into the staircase, so we start to understand your location based on the sensory data that you have on the device. We've also introduced the HD, or the high definition GNSS. It's meant for the complex applications for the drone and potentially happening with the autonomous vehicles on the street. It's a sub-centimeter accuracy when it comes to the outdoor mapping. And also we introduced the ultra-wideband technology for the indoor, helping you another centimeter accuracy indoor. It's literally can let the robot arm put a cup in front of you near your plate on the restaurant. So these type of technologies is there for a lot of other use cases have been implemented. Eventually you can touch base. If you have the right access to the technology, you can implement the solution for yourself, for your partner, or for the company that you are working for. So what we have differently is when it comes to the technology of the positioning. So we have the outdoor technology and we have the indoor technology. And in between, we have a network positioning technology. So the good thing of this state-of-the-art technology is it works offline. So you don't need to have a data sim. You need to have any connectivity as such. We can find your location. We can put you on the map. We can drive you, navigate you, do all the location applications that you are looking for with offline capabilities without even SIM card, just a device, and that's it.
We basically, you can also work with beacons, which is based on Bluetooth low energy technology. And we have a very nice documentation how to get started on beacon.
Yeah, nice. So with the here positioning technology is like a big cloud with AI helping you to find your locations from Wi-Fi access points, from cell towers, from all the information that we are getting from the heat map. We managed to literally map the world again with the data that we have from the Wi-Fi, from cellular data. If you can see the map, it's all the cities, all the major human places have been mapped away from the desert and the North Pole, the ice there. But you can easily navigate. Again, let me use it completely offline within the countries, across all the road networks and across the major cities. So what's next?
Yes, what's next?
Yeah, what's next? So there is always a questions that a lot of industries asking these days, which is related of where is the asset, when is the asset there, how is the asset reaching, how long it will take, how it's supposed to be, what's the actions that I need to take now or in the future or when it reach. There is a lot of questions. Let me use it related to your location of your products, of your IoT device, of your sensor, even if your own device or big machines or chip on the middle of the sea, you need to find a lot of location data behind it just to answer basic questions that you are working with any applications or any solution that you need to provide. So today we are with you on a weekly session for the next 8 weeks, I would assume. So we have the location Tuesdays. It's if you are familiar with the Ruby Tuesday, the restaurant there. So we'll have a location Tuesday with you. So every Tuesday we'll have a session with the developer team, with an expert on the table or on the PC that can help you to navigate with the location services, the location platform, how you can use the location services a bit differently. So next week we have a session, the week after and the after, and it goes on. So every week we have a session for you.
So just to give you a perspective, so the sessions that we're going to do sessions on IoT, how we can build IoT solution with the help of IBM and here location services. Apart from that, we are going to do one sessions on visual recognitions, how you can build a application or a solution where you are able to find a particular location on the basis of image of a food. Let's say that you want to look, you're looking for a pizza joint, right? Apart from that, we'll also be looking at Node-RED for one of the session.
For the IoT. Yeah, cool. So please follow us on the meetup / IBM Cloud for MEA. Also the Crowdcast. You will find the post was already there. So keep going with us. It is more 7 sessions. Potentially it will be light one. We will not like overwhelm you with a lot of information, and it will be interactive as well. We have a lot of code samples that you have in the GitHub. Again, also you have an expert on the table that can share a lot of information with you and get your questions answered, or any challenge that you are using the APIs or the SDK or the location data, you will get an answer how to use it.
That's wonderful. This is Ukar here again. So I know we are coming up to the hour. We can definitely go a little bit over, but I do wanted to point out there are 3 questions in the Ask a Question section. I don't know if you want to take them now or at the end. It's up to you. But just wanted to let you know.
Yes, sure. So we have a Q&A session at the end,
Yes.
but let's have it. Let's have it now, so we can back again to the presentation, please.
All right. Do you want me to read it out, or do you want to? Let me do that. So, the first question is, I think Vedant answered it, but it might be good to answer it on the audio as well. Do you experience any form of security threats while routing the APIs? If so, how do you mitigate the issue?
Normally, when you talk about APIs, these are your HTTP calls, and these are HTTPS that is secured with TLS encryption. So we don't face such issues. If we do, then we have an amazing InfoSec people around us who are able to mitigate it. But normally, we don't face such issues.
Perfect. Thank you. The second question is, again, Vedant, you've answered it. Is satellite imagery available through the APIs?
Yes, it is. Now, satellite imagery is one of the most important thing when you talk about creating a map or looking at map. And you can change the feature or you can call that by only adding one parameter, one value, and you'll be able to see a satellite image.
Perfect. Thank you. And then finally, do you provide user mobility from wireless carrier data or from the mobile device itself?
Yes, you have both the options, right? Either you can have grab the lat long from the inbuilt antenna of a mobile device, and you can send it across over your Wi-Fi signal or your any internet carrier like telecommunication provider, or you can also work in a way where you are using Wi-Fi and 3G or 4G signal strength to find out the location of a person. You can do both, and the
Perfect.
best
And
thing is your positioning API for that.
And also, let me add this. We have also tracking application. It's literally like an end-to-end solution for tracking. It has a C file, C library that you can embed that in your IoT device, so Raspberry, Arduino, even your own system on chip if you wish. It has the location data embedded, including the whole intelligence when it comes to the positioning. So for example, and offline as well, yes. So it works offline. So for example, if you have a small asset moving around, I don't know, from China, Shenzhen to Manhattan in the US, you can track the whole journey for 2 or 3 months across the sea fleet, completely offline. And you can enable the defense, for example. So whenever it's reaching the port or certain destination, it gives you a trigger like now it's there or now it's here. So we have a lot of implementations when it comes to positioning technology, and we can help you to find yourself or find your product or asset everywhere.
Well, that's wonderful. A lot of options. That's great to hear. And I know in the future webinars we'll also go through some code, some workshops.
Yes.
And
A lot.
that's amazing. Good. So on the coding side, there's another question. Is there an Angular plugin available?
So we don't have plugin for specifically Angular. What we do is we provide you the APIs and JavaScript support, where you can import JavaScript library and you can start using your APIs in JavaScript. So right now we don't have any plugin specific for Angular.
Perfect. Thank you. I know Mahesh has a question. Can you please share the link for signing up for future sessions? Mahesh, so I'll put that in the chat. Also, like I said before, if you follow IBM Developer on Crowdcast, or if you go to our meetup page, which I'll also put in the chat, you can follow us there, and you'll get notified of these different. As the speaker said, we have a number of sessions coming up every Tuesday, and like I said, it'll some of them are code heavy, some of them are more sessions like this. But bottom line, we have our experts from Hair Technologies and IBM to help you create your solutions for Call for Code and future. So with that, I'll hand it back to you, Vedant and Mohammed, if you want to, if you have more slides, if you want to close it out, or it's back to you.
So let me give you just like two slides, and we'll have the closing. So for example, the way that we're trying to engage with you guys is we're trying to build or to give you at least a use case with an end-to-end application. So using the IBM technology, the IBM Cloud, the IBM Watson, the whole smartness of the IBM platform and services and technology enabled with the location technologies, or let me use unlocked with the location technologies that we have on here. So, for example, we have a lot of, this is part of the next sessions, I think, just to give you a bit of teasing, activities for the next session. So we'll have a lot of mobile applications, chatbots with Watson, a lot of like visual recognition, for example, using the artificial intelligence and the Watson Studio, building some applications using the IBM Cloud, helping you and helping even the community to have this type of applications. So that's a quick example of using the Node.js with here React Native mobile app, combining two APIs from here and Weather API. It's another IBM technology as well. We also have, I lost the scene. So we'll also have a community collaboration app, another sense of IBM Cloud technology that we will use in a format of mobile applications, a lot of animations and screen and usability that you can build. So this one will be available on the GitHub. It uses the terminology of a start kit. So it can help you to get along with integration IBM platform with here technology, how to deal with the data you've been collected or digested within Watson, for example, pass it to here to get the location sensors out of it, and then back again to Watson, and continue your algorithm or your intelligence that you need to implement with the user or with the platform that you have. So a lot of things is coming. We are touching base on the cloud, on the IoT, on the AI. There's a lot of topics that we'll cover on the next 8 sessions, or eventually 7 sessions. We have today the introduction. I know we may have a lot of questions. I think so. The guys talking about the routing, the security approach, and what's happening there, how we can use the positioning, how we can consume the data, what's even the attributes of the routing and the waypoints, and how do the salesman problem, for example, how to do this with the delivery services and logistics and tracking services. There is a lot of questions happening there. And let me mention, this is like the exciting out of it. So we are here to help you. You have the expert on the table. We can go along with the whole location technology and the location insights to enable the whole geo data and how the value of the machine learning and the AI when it match the location data and the location intelligence as such.
It is a pleasure speaking to you all and looking forward to you or talking to you in the coming webinars and workshops.
So guys, we are available. You can find the LinkedIn, for example, if you need to connect. You have the Twitter. We have a Slack channel for here. We can share it with you if you wish. So we have a lot of communication tool with you. And here's the very good news: we are being hosted with the IBM team, IBM developer team, on the next 7 weeks, and we'll be with you. If you have any questions, be prepared. Please let us know how we can answer this, and also we can change the workshop if you wish. I mean, if you have really need or demand, we can help you to implement an example for this question during the next sessions.
Perfect. Thank you, Mohammed. Thank you, Vidhan. Thank you, everybody, for attending. I did post the links to the next two sessions, but also I'll send out a follow-up email with all of the resources that we're given out today, as well as how you can register for the next couple of webinars. And I'm super excited to have you both back on. And our developer, IBM developer advocate Naira, who's working sort of behind the scenes, she's amazing. So we'll try and get her next time as well. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Thank
thank you,
you.
Naira. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day. Stay safe. Bye bye.